There's a silence in Iceland that doesn't just fill your ears, it speaks to the parts of you forgot existed. I didn't come to Iceland to chase a trend. I came because something inside me needed to crack open. I didn't know then what I was searching for, but the land, the storms, the endless skies, they knew. And they answered, in ways I never expected. In a world that never stops buzzing, notifications, headlines, endless noise, Iceland is a place that asks nothing of you except that you feel. It doesn't beg for your attention. It doesn't entertain. It just exists, raw, untamed, unapologetically still. That's why I went, not for the photos, not for the list of things to do, but because I was tired of living on autopilot. I wanted to remember what it felt like to breathe in a moment that didn't ask me to be anything but present, and Iceland, this cold, wind-stripped island on the edge of the Atlantic, held something I didn't know I needed, a mirror, and a storm. The first place I landed was near Mývatn, in the north. No traffic. No talking. Just volcanic fields that stretched out like the surface of the moon, steam curling from the earth, as if the planet itself was exhaling. I stood there, alone, and I swear I could hear my own heartbeat. The wind whispered, not loudly, but deliberately. Like it was testing me. Like it was asking, are you ready to hear what you've been avoiding? And maybe for the first time in months, I listened. I sat on a patch of mossy stone, the kind that feels like it's been growing for centuries. I didn't check my phone. I didn't take a picture. I just sat there. And I cried, not out of sadness, but out of release. It felt like Iceland was holding space for me. No judgment. Then came the storm. I was driving the ring road when it hit. Somewhere near Vik, the sky darkened fast, ominous clouds pressing down like a lid. The wind howled. Rain slammed sideways across my windshield. I pulled over. I should have been afraid. Alone in a foreign land, in a car that felt too small for this weather. But instead, I felt something else. The storm wasn't chaos, it was clarity. It stripped everything away. No small talk, no plans. Just me, the wind, and the knowledge that I had absolutely no control, and that was freeing. Later, a local I met in a gas station said something I'll never forget. In Iceland, we don't fight nature. We let her speak. And we listen. That stuck with me, because maybe storms aren't here to ruin our plans. Maybe they're here to return us to what matters. I had dreamed of seeing the aurora borealis for years, but nothing prepared me for how it would actually feel. It happened outside Akureyri. A local family had let me stay in their guest house. Around midnight, the mother knocked gently on my door and whispered, "They are here." I stepped outside barefoot, barely breathing. Above me, the sky danced. Curtains of green shimmered across the blackness, rippling like a cosmic heartbeat. And I just stared. There were no words. Only the feeling that I was very small, and somehow infinite at the same time. It wasn't just beautiful. It was intimate. Like the universe had peeled back a layer of itself just for me, and in that moment, I realized, I didn't need to fix anything in my life. I just needed to witness. To stop trying so hard and let wonder do its quiet work. I hiked across Sólheimajökull, one of Iceland's many glaciers. The ice crackled underfoot, deep blue veins twisting through it like frozen rivers of time. Our guide, a soft-spoken man named Elvar, stopped suddenly and said, "This ice has been moving for 1,000 years. Even when it looked still, it's changing." That line haunted me, because isn't that us, too? We think we're stuck. We think we're frozen. But below the surface, we're always shifting, growing, healing, becoming something else. Standing there, surrounded by nothing but silence and ancient ice, I understood, maybe healing doesn't always feel like movement. Maybe it feels like stillness. Like letting time do its slow, invisible work. In the lava fields near Eldhraun, I walked alone for hours. This place, once scorched by one of the largest eruptions in recorded history, is now covered in soft moss. It's as if time decided to heal the earth with tenderness, and I kept thinking, if even lava can become beauty, then maybe so can I. There was a moment where I stopped, placed my hand on the cool green surface, and said aloud, "I forgive you." I didn't know who I was talking to, maybe a person from my past, maybe myself. But Iceland has a way of inviting honesty. It doesn't ask for perfection. Just truth. At the end of my journey, I stood at the black sands of Reynisfjara, the ocean roared. The basalt cliffs stood like ancient guardians. The sky was dark, the air electric, and something inside me cracked wide open, because in that moment, I finally understood what Iceland had been trying to tell me all along, that everything I was chasing, peace, meaning, clarity, was already inside me. I just needed silence loud enough to hear it. Storms strong enough to shake it loose. Skies wide enough to remind me of my place in the universe. Back home now, I move slower. I speak softer. I listen more, not because I learned something new in Iceland, but because I remembered something old. Something I had buried under emails and schedules and expectations, that I am small. And that's okay, that beauty doesn't always shout, and that sometimes the bravest thing we can do, is to simply be still. The land didn't speak English, but it knew my name. And it whispered, "You are enough. Just as you are. If Iceland is calling you, don't wait until you've figured everything out. Go while you're messy. Go while you're unsure. The land doesn't need your perfection. It only asks for your presence." And if you want more stories like this, raw, real, and rooted in the places that change us, you know where to find me.